Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about maintaining or creating a routine that can help you get through this crazy time that we are going through with this pandemic. Now, before I begin, please hit subscribe below and hit the bell for notifications so you know when I put out a new video. Now, creating or maintaining a routine through the craziness of the COVID-19 pandemic is going to be incredibly important for us that are cancer survivors. And I mean this in one, in all sincerity, but two, just to help keep your head and your mindset in a good place, because there's so much time that we are spending doing things that could be helping us be one, a better version of ourselves, and two, really come out on the other side of this pandemic as a better person and as someone that may have made a big difference in a lot of other people's lives. And I really truly mean this, because as a cancer patient, as a cancer survivor, I know just how much and how important time is in our lives, because we're faced with a lot of challenges. And when we go through tests and the different procedures and meetings and this and that, our schedules are already kind of all over the place. So adding some sort of discipline and routine to our lives really makes things a little bit easier and feel less complicated in such a chaotic world. Now, I'm going to talk about 6 things that are I think really important to do in this, and this should help kind of explain kind of my whole thoughts behind this. And the first one is getting rid of distractions, or even as I call it, sacrificing distractions, because I think it's really easy for us to, especially in this digital world, to kind of lose ourselves into what other people are doing. And I have found that this is a very destructive way to think, because we see people doing things that we wish we were doing on social media, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram, and it's kind of human nature to compare ourselves to them and then get discouraged because we're not doing the same things that they are. I can definitely admit that that's one of the main reasons why I took a huge step back from social media, especially in the last number of years, because I was getting frustrated that I wasn't in that position. And the only reason I wasn't in that position was because I wasn't giving myself an opportunity to be in that position. And ultimately what happens, or what has happened, is for those people that are doing that, there's 2 parts to this. One, those people that you see doing this are so over leveraged that they are displaying this amazing lifestyle, and they don't have anything outside of it to show for it. And the second thing is there are those people that have worked really hard to be able to afford this lifestyle that they want. And so I caught myself being really frustrated with seeing people that were doing the things that I wanted to do, whether that was travel or snowboarding or biking or whatever it was, spending time with my family, vacations, just the whole 9 yards. And I just got to a point where it was causing me enough anxiety and stress that it was a better option to sacrifice my time on these platforms, because I didn't like how it was making me feel. And I think it's really important for more people to really see this and know this. But here's the thing, is as a business owner in this day and age, we need to use social media to help us market. So I've really kind of switched the mentality of, using social media as a time waster and applying social media as a tool to help market. And that's really kind of the big thing. And it's, you know, I may not have a finger on the pulse for everything that's going on in social media, right? And that's okay, because I'm more concentrating my efforts into creating with that free time that I have allowed myself. And now, right, and what's happening now is with taking some time off because of my exposure to coronavirus and being a cancer patient right now, being in the higher percentile of having bad effects happen because of coronavirus, I am now at home. Well, I should say I'm away from my family, but I am safe in a place to where I have even more time now. So it's really imperative that I am spending that time doing something positive. And that's why I create the videos, is to help those of you that are struggling with this a little bit. So the first, yeah, and that's the first one, is sacrificing the distractions. And I believe that social media and everything is a big distraction into what it is that you want to do moving forward, and maybe even skills that you want to learn to help yourself in a future job moving forward after we all get out of this pandemic. So the second thing that I want to talk about is what is it that you want to learn? Now, this is a pretty important question, because this kind of starts to dig down into the roots of kind of your why and what is important to you, because now that you have all this time, because you're not wasting it on social media, what is it that you know drives you? What is it that makes you feel just awesome because you're working on something that's, or not that you're working on, but something that you would like to work on that brings meaning to your life? And I think this is an important question to ask yourself, because once you kind of get this figured out, then you can start applying time, you know, in a way to help you start focusing and start learning about this. And that's what's so nice about a routine, is once you find something that you really, really like to do, you can apply routine to help kind of learn about it and become more informed, and maybe even become an expert into this field, so that you can share your wisdom on it to other people that show interest in this. So that's kind of it in a quick nutshell, is, you know, what is it that you love? There's probably hobbies that you like to do. And, you know, for me, there was, you know, in 2015, I ended up going on a trip with my daughter to Mexico for her senior class trip, high school. And I ended up, I kind of went with this notion because I've been playing with the idea of writing a book, and I ended up getting a couple other books on Kindle, and I went down to Mexico and I read a book a day about self-publishing, and it had led to the entire spectrum of what it takes to, one, write a book, and two, to self-publish it. And going through that entire process was so informative and so awesome that it has kind of it's continued to help motivate me into writing other stuff, whether it's my blog or writing all the outlines for the videos that I do, or everything else. So, you know, it's just it really kind of took my knowledge to another level. It gave me a new skill, which was really cool, and I'm able to apply that to future stuff. So that is something that I think was really interesting, because, you know, what did I want to learn? I wanted to learn how to self-publish a book, and I wanted to write it all myself. So that's exactly what I did, and that's what I threw myself into, and it was amazing to learn this. And so that's kind of the thing, is what is it? You got to ask yourself these questions. What is it that you want to learn? Why is it that you want to learn it? And how do you move forward with that? So the third thing that I want to talk about is time management discipline. And this is super, super important to working on achieving your goals, especially during this downtime in this pandemic that we're dealing with. Being able to spend time in front of the camera talking about this is part of my discipline to help share my story with everyone and what I'm doing during this time, this downtime that I am going through. I've been afforded a unique opportunity, and that's a big thing there, is changing that mindset from, I'm locked inside, I'm angry, I hate the government, to I'm going to use this as an opportunity to do something good and to not spread hate and to help others that are really needing some help, especially those that are going through cancer right now and that are feeling lost and feeling a little lonely. So, by having some discipline with your time and finding something that you really finding or knowing what it is that you really, really like. Now, whether that's, crocheting or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. You can use this time to do this, and you discipline yourself in order to accomplish the goals that you set out, learning about the thing that you love and the passion that you feel for whatever it is that drives you to get up in the morning. And so I think that's really, really a key thing to helping you really, one, adjust, and two, start to build a better habit around how you spend your time. And that discipline, that time management discipline, is super important. I'll put a link, if I can, of a video right up here of a video I did earlier in 2018 about time management discipline, and you can kind of check it out from there. And then, so the fourth thing that I want to talk about is what, and this kind of goes towards the second thing, what do you want to learn? And then also, what is your hobby? Like, is there a hobby that you like? What is there a passion? Do you enjoy, helping? Are you involved with a church, and do you help them deliver meals? Is there, do you have an affection for cars? There's a number of things, so find out what that hobby is, and kind of take some time to explore that and figure out what that is. And then you can start kind of working through all the different parts of this, and then you can start building upon that. You can start putting your time towards it. And there's a point of all this, and this is just really trying to do something with something that you love that others can learn from, and learn from your experience from it too, and help spread some positivity in the world, because right now there's just not a lot of it, and it's I think that's what's so frustrating. And I think that's why I wanted to put this video together about a routine and creating a routine and creating something positive, because I think all of us out there are very creative, but we just don't know how to access that. And this time that we've been given because of the pandemic is super, super valuable, and I just don't want to see people waste that, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that's the thing, is what is that hobby? Whether say you like cars, you like rebuilding or restoring cars. There's a whole process that goes along with restoring a car, and it all starts with taking the wheels off and then disassembling the entire thing and then reassembling it back to a point that you like the best. And that whole stage, there's so many stages that goes along with that it's really the experience of doing it, and the experience of going through the entire process is where you really learn from and pick up new skills that might help you with a potential opportunity that happens down the road. And that's I think a really, really important thing. So the fifth thing I want to talk about is continuous action. Now, this is you add this to the top four things, and this is kind of where the magic starts to happen. And I like to say that, when you are in a routine and you do it day after day, week after week, month after month, and then you start to see the progress and the process give you that meaning, it's really an amazing thing to see what happens and to feel it also in a deep level. And I think there's a lyric from for some of you that are not super new to hip hop. There's a great underground hip hop artist named Locksmith, amazing lyricist, and he actually says something that is very profound in one of his lyrics, and that's: the definition of grind is through repetition and time. And that is absolutely true. To see kind of how things unfold, to see, you have to put the time in and the energy to reap the benefits of that. And I think that is really kind of the main thing about continuous action, because as you see the compounding effects happen over and over and over again, it just grows, and it's such a good feeling, and it's such a good way to continue to help you feel good about yourself and what you're doing too. And then in the long run, that will start to spread to other people and your family, and it can be addictive, and it's really cool to feel that from a perspective of creativity and creation. And so that kind of leads me into the sixth thing, and that is just the positive benefit of all the work that you do, the compounding effort that happens over time, and grinding on something that is really something that feels really good to you. So as you go through the entire process, you will learn things about yourself you never did, and the positive benefit is just absolutely amazing. And there's two things that I want to kind of break. There's a choice that we all have, and one, we can continue with the status quo, and we can hope that life will go back to normal, and then we can go back to our jobs and everything will be hunky-dory and whatever. But I have a feeling that moving forward outside of this pandemic, life is never going to be normal. So that leaves me to the second option, and that is, by doing something meaningful and productive for ourselves and everyone around us, will only help what is going to be happening to us in the future, and it'll kind of give us an opportunity to help other people in a way that we never thought we could. So those are kind of the things that I've been thinking about, and why I believe that maintaining and creating a new routine for those of us that are really struggling with trying to find some sort of normalcy in our lives, especially for us cancer patients and survivors that are really struggling with what's going on with this pandemic. So you got some choices here. Obviously, it's a matter of taking the most precious thing that we have in our lives, and that's time, and doing the most we can with it. So awesome. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time and energy, and if you have a chance, leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And head over to internalarchitect.com and check out some of the other posts I put out. And I thank you for your time and energy, and I will see you on the next video.